from the Halloween movie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Bobby. We got my co-hosts, Rob and Dave. How we doing tonight?
Doing well, Bobby. How about you?
Doing good.
Doing good, Bobby.
So tonight's episode is episode 44. We've got the one, the only, Hollywood. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. How are y'all?
Doing good.
Doing well, sir.
So let's see. We got one in Ohio. Is that right?
Yep.
One in North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
2 in North Carolina.
2 in North Carolina.
And then I'm in southeast Wisconsin.
Bless your heart.
Not far from where Sam Mayer actually was born and raised.
Yeah, so not far from what is it, Road America?
Yeah, Road America is about an hour and a half from my house.
Cool.
So, my favorite track. I was there actually when Sam won.
Now, where's the other one at in North Carolina?
I'm right up 85. I'm just over in Gastonia.
Cool. That's where I'm from.
Really now?
Yeah, born and raised in Gastonia.
There you go. Yeah, I'm over in Cedar Grove off Union and
Robinson.
Robinson, yes, sir.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're at. Saddlewood, maybe? No, you're in Cedar Grove, so you're on the other side of the road.
Yep, right across the street.
Yeah. So yeah, I was born and raised in Gastonia. Was a city of Gastonia firefighter before I got in racing.
Well, definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, Dave is the second location for the Racing Warehouse in Gastonia. So, based on all the sheet metal and stuff he has in the background, that's our running joke on our podcast.
Yeah, no kidding. Those guys are right by the interstate there at Cox Road, I believe it is, exit 22, the Racing Warehouse. Golly, they got a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I spend way too much time. Actually, I'll be there tomorrow picking up something for Bobby to have Mark and Jeremy personalized for him from our Pocono car.
There you go. So let's roll with it. What you guys got? Bring it on.
We're gonna start the intro, and then we'll start asking you questions.
Area 51 podcast. Jeremy Clements is going to win in Daytona. You guys believe this? Oh my God.
So here comes the young lady in Lincoln, California, the 67 Kylie Glick. Here goes Kylie Glick.
In the business of my dream, I don't think that they're ready. Let's go. This cap is right here. Bobby, what you got for me?
All right. We are on episode 44 tonight. Hollywood, tell us about yourself and how you got involved in NASCAR.
So, I was born and raised in Gastonia. Used to be a city of Gastonia firefighter. Decided in 1993 to leave the city of Gastonia and pursue a career in racing as a tire changer. Have a cousin of mine that still works in the sport, Lanny Barnes. He was a tire changer, and I really looked up to him and the stuff that he had accomplished and done, and I wanted to be a part of it. And he kind of guided me along and opened a few doors for me, and the rest is history. It's been a whirlwind. It's been a lot of fun. Sports changed tremendously, but I don't see nothing I'd go back and change. There's been a lot of ups and downs and a lot of fun and a lot of heartache, but that's what racing is. It'll make you a hero one day and a zero the next.
Now, just so people know about it, who do you haul for, and what association?
So I work at JR Motorsports now. Drive the 7 hauler, take care of it, and just pit support on pit road. Change tires for 20 plus years. Not doing that anymore. Still have the drive to want to do it, but my body's not as young as it used to be. It takes a little while to get over the beating and banging that it takes to be a pit crew guy now, to kind of punish yourself going over the wall and going all out. So just driving the truck, taking care of that. A couple of races to go. Really need to go to Martinsville, run well. Be nice to go there and win, but we just need to go there and have a good points day. Top 5 stage 1, top 5 stage 2, and maybe a top 5 at the end. And hope that that's enough to punch our ticket to go to Phoenix the following week and run for a championship.
Yeah, we're right there along with you. I think all of us would say that Justin Allgaier is definitely a good guy and runs clean, runs fair, but still got that fire deep down in him where he wants to win.
Most definitely. I've been there 5 years. We've raced for a championship 4 out of the 5. So nothing to complain about there. Certainly, it's a long, drawn out season. A lot of work goes into putting yourself in position to go out there and run for a championship or go to Homestead. But the first couple years I was there, the first year I was there, we went to you finished at Homestead, but we run really great at Homestead this past weekend. I've watched him really progress there and get better and better. That was really neat to see. But just people just don't realize I think we're 32 or 33 races now, and that's a lot of weekends. I got one son that just graduated from ECU. I got one that's still at ECU. So it puts a burden on you when my wife has to go to some of their college functions and stuff. She has to go without me, or I have to drive all night, get home, and we leave early the next morning going to do something at ECU if it's a Friday night race or something like that. So and that's just I'm just one small part of the puzzle of a race team, and there's people throughout the whole race team that put that put their wives, girlfriends, or if the women's working in the sport, they put their husbands or boyfriends in that bubble of sometimes there's a lot of things that they have to do at home by themselves because we're out living a dream or chasing a dream to be able to go win races or win championships. And it's a lot of sacrifices.
So you've been in the sport for quite a number of years, and in a little bio thing that you sent Bobby that he shared, you've basically been affiliated with several Hall of Fame drivers or legends in the sport and race teams throughout your career. Dale Earnhardt Sr. was on that list, just for an example. Being in the sport for this long and being around those types of teams, what have you gotten from being around, like, obviously winning organizations and drivers?
I've been very fortunate to surround myself with a lot of good people in a lot of situations. I changed tires for Dale Earnhardt Sr., changed tires for Bobby Labonte, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Bodine. The list goes on and on. Jeff Burton, but throughout changing tires with all of them, I was real fortunate to be able to surround myself with a lot of good people that were very talented in their positions, and been able to win a lot of races as a tire changer, been able to have a lot of fast pit stops, been able to, have some ups and downs, and, some days you make mistakes or someone around you makes mistakes, but it's a tough sport. And if you're not putting yourself out there and putting yourself on the edge week in and week out or every stop, nowadays it's just about as bad. But there's someone standing over your shoulder waiting to pounce on you to make a change, if you don't perform. And I've been in that situation. I've been the guy getting replaced. I've been the guy replacing. So it's they always say is one door shuts, two more open. But I've been super fortunate in it. Hadn't had any really bad injuries. Been hit a couple of times, but been able to get up and walk away from it. And got hurt a couple of times, but had to set out a little bit, but was able to come back and still win races. But it's a lot different sport nowadays compared to what it is. Just a lot of different mentality, and a lot of guys will come in and pit race cars that that don't work on race cars. Where I was in the swing of it is, I worked on the race cars during the weekend, pitted them on the weekend, and then I just pitted race cars. I didn't work on them, but I was familiar with the race car. And now you got a lot of guys that are not at all familiar with a race car, but they're incredible athletes. And so that's kind of made our sport progress in the pit stop department, as far as, quicker pit stops or changing the way we do stuff and that sort of stuff. It's definitely been neat to watch. And, they have to hang themselves out there too, and they make mistakes. But I think the mentality maybe of a guy that's a previous athlete or coming from football or baseball or basketball or whatever, they're more maybe at ease of making a mistake, because in college football or in the NFL or whatever you're comparing it to nowadays that those guys are coming from, they make mistakes. They make several mistakes in a game, or a quarterback throws an interception, or a running back fumbles the ball, or defensive guy misses a tackle. They're good at what they do, but they still make mistakes. And so when they come into this sport, they're good at what they do, but they still make mistakes, but they let it, roll off, and they go right back at it the next stop. Where back when I was doing it a long time ago, we didn't have that, and you made a mistake. You had a crew chief coming down off the box, letting you know where he stood or how he felt about it.
Now you brought up some nostalgia. We obviously had that big announcement coming from Junior Motorsports last week, and we were all geared up about that. Now, have you had any sneak peek into that new beautiful red car?
I haven't. I knew it was coming, and I think we all knew that he was working on a way to get the rights back to the 8, and what better way to reveal that iconic 8 and Budweiser. I think he's running it at Florence, which is, not far from the Charlotte area. So down by Darlington. I look for it to be a big hit, just like North Wilkesboro was when he came back and ran the Sundrop car. So, from our standpoint, it's pretty cool. From a grassroots racer, it's really cool that an iconic guy like Dale Earnhardt Jr., still finds a way to give back or put back into the sport, and appreciates it and has fun with it. And, the fans get to come out and check it out and see it, and it's really cool to work there and see all the stuff. You see a lot of different stuff going behind the scenes because you work there, but he truly enjoys that part of it.
Now, ringing the bell, is that your favorite part of the job?
If we win, well, I try to make it a point if, depending on what the work week's got going on or what I have going on, if we win a race, whether it's the 7-car or any of our cars win a race, I try to make it a point to be there. But sometimes they schedule them based off of sponsor people that might be coming or the obligations the driver have. So there's some that I have missed. But if I can make it a point to be there, I try to be there regardless of who won the race. People ask me all the time, hey, you get super excited and, jump up and down and go crazy when you win a race. And I do. And because here's why I tell you that is I changed tires for a long time and won a lot of races. And then all of a sudden for a long time as a competitive tire changer, I went a couple, 2 years or whatever it was, and didn't win a single race. And the whole time after that, after 6, 8, 10 races of not winning a race because you've won a race, every 10 races for 4 or 5 years, you started asking yourself, golly, when was the last race you was a part of as a pit crew guy and won? So I said to myself then I'd make it a point that, the next race we win, I'd celebrate it like it was going to be my last one, because you never know when it's going to be your last race that you're going to be able to win, and soak it up and enjoy it and make it memorable. So from that point on, I celebrate and I have a good time with it. And I try to wrap my arms around everybody that's involved with it and make them have a good time. And you can call it showboating, you can call it Hollywood, you can call it getting on TV, you can call it all the above. I don't care. I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to take everybody along with the ride and have fun. And that's just me.
So how did you get the name Hollywood, and who gave it to you?
Not long after being in the sport, I was doing a Tide show car for Tide Motorsports, and they had the cars. They had like 8 Tide show cars, but the one that was available when I started was the Southern Division. So it was, around this area, and they were shooting a commercial with Ricky Rudd, and they were going to use my show car for the commercial. So I was in the commercial in the background as a pit crew guy rolling a tire. I hadn't, got into changing tires yet or nothing. I was just breaking into the sport. And the guys in the office started calling me Hollywood because of the commercial. And it just stuck, and in this sport, doesn't matter what they call you. It's kind of, once you're branded with it, you're not getting rid of it. You can either absorb it and enjoy it and run with it, or you can try to hide from it. Doesn't matter. They're still going to call you that. So fortunate for me, I've been able to utilize it a lot. I had a relationship and worked with Oakley. So, always had different glasses on. So that appealed to Hollywood. And then, ESPN used the crew cam a lot. I wore it a ton, and done a lot of stuff for ESPN on the Cup side, and, it was a Busch Series in. But, by wearing the camera. So, fortunate for me, it was, nicknamed Hollywood, and I had sunglasses and I had cameras on my helmet. And I mean, what else could you ask for, right?
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, it's 2-0 Dodgers, top of or bottom of 1.
Okay.
So
So
Hollywood, with being in the sport and being with these teams, have you been fortunate enough to be a part of a team that's won a championship?
Yes. So I was at Joe Gibbs Racing, and Tony Stewart won the championship. But in the shop, I worked on the 20 and the 18, servicing parts and tearing down parts and stuff after the races. Help put motors in or take motors out of cars. And so then, I changed on the 18 car, but in the shop, I worked on both cars. But the championship at Joe Gibbs with that, I changed tires on Xfinity car at Joe Gibbs with as a backup, and won races at Joe Gibbs as a backup, and they won the owners championship with the Xfinity series with Kyle Busch. And then I changed tires for Kyle Busch Motorsports through Joe Gibbs when Kyle was running the truck some, and won the owners championship with the 51 truck at Homestead. So yes, and I've won the pit crew championship. So huge blessing. Probably one of my biggest goals when I got into sport was, I wanted to win a pit crew championship, and I was fortunate enough, I was able to do that. And so that one probably means the most to me, because that's what I had on my agenda when I decided to. The other championships are certainly important, and a lot of sacrifices, and a lot of people made sacrifices around you to be able to help you achieve that goal. But different people set out different goals for what they wanted to do, and one of mine is when I left the fire department, become a tire changer, was I'd love to win the pit crew championship. But back to earlier, you mentioned all them drivers, and for me, it's super cool that I've worked for a lot of drivers. I see Jeff Burton, he knows who I am. He stops. Bobby Labonte, the same. Jeff Bodine. You work for those guys, and you have a relationship with them and a friendship with them, and you see them a lot different than maybe the average fan sees them. Or I've had a lot of people come up and say, when I changed tires for Kyle Busch on the Xfinity races, I was a fill-in there as a backup. They had a normal pit crew, but if somebody needed to be off, I would change on that, and I changed for them a lot on the truck side. But people, everybody knows the Kyle Busch of walking by or not giving you an autograph or not speaking to you or whatever. But I see a different side of all those guys because I'm around them so much. And, here's what I tell people, you've had a bad day at work, and, you leave and stop at the grocery store, and somebody stops to speak to you or ask you a question or whatever. Maybe you just say hi, or maybe you turn to go down the aisle, but you see your neighbor on that aisle, so you go to the next aisle. Because you've had a bad day, you don't want to see your neighbor and get tied up in a 10-minute conversation with them. Well, that might be the same time that fan's asked a particular driver, for an autograph. So, yes, I know they signed up for that. I agree, but we all have good days and bad days, and we all had good times and bad times. And I've also seen videos of not throwing off on Kyle, but I've also seen videos of Kyle driving up beside somebody in the traffic and rolling their window down and waving at them because they're a Kyle Busch fan, or taking a hat off and handing it to them. So all the drivers have that same heart, we just might not always see it all the time. But they all are appreciative of fans. They just sometimes get focused on maybe the car not running good, or maybe the circumstances didn't turn out in the race the way they wanted it to, or whatever. And so they're a little beat up, and mad or whatever the case may be at the time a particular fan might ask them for something. So now all of a sudden they're like, oh, I don't like this person or that person because he didn't stop or do this or stop and do that. So I get it. That's their opinion, but I see a different side of a lot of drivers that people ask me all the time about different drivers or different people, and I'm like, man, they're as cool as me and you. You've just called them at the wrong time if you have that opinion of them.
So
Yeah,
let's,
I'm a little bit into Kyle Busch. If you hadn't seen the podcast before, but I've seen him in thirds. I always tell people, you've got, Kyle Busch I met at the racetrack. He was working. Then I've met Kyle Busch, the family man, and he was with his family. And then I've met him at like fan appreciation days. And all three of those Kyles are absolutely different. When we were at the fan day, very appreciative, handshakes, smiles, the whole 9 yards. Racetrack, it was kind of more, business like. But the only time I've seen him in a bad mood where he did not want to be approached was obviously it was just Brexton and Samantha at that time. But he was out with his family, and there was a group of people that just would not leave him alone. We were at another sporting event, and he kind of got a temper, and I knew better, because I understand that these guys are athletes and they're on TV, all the time, but
Right.
there was just a group of idiots that, hey, sign this, hey, yelling out at other drivers' names, this, that, and the other. But for me, I've worked over in Denver for a couple of years, which is right around the corner from his house. And I've met him at the local grocery store, gas station. I always just gave him a wave, and usually I'm wearing my rowdy hat or my 18 hat, now my 8 hat. But and I was thinking about it. You were saying that you're a tire changer. I've probably got a tire that you've at least had a hand on. Anywhere between the 5 car, the 18 car, the 51, the 77. They're all down here in the warehouse.
Yeah, so the 77 is one of the first cars I changed tires on, Bobby Ellen Jr. And I left there and went to Jeff Bodine Racing, changed on the 7, and left there and went to the 3, changed for Senior, and left there and came back to change for Rusty Wallace.
So how was it working for Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
I mean, he was a big jokester. A lot of fun to be around. I was fortunate enough to fly with him in his helicopter from his place out on 3. Flew to Rockingham to shoot GM Goodwrench Plus commercial. We flew really low the whole way down there and back, because he loved looking at property or looking to see if stuff he might see for sale or stuff like that. He's like a kid in a candy store, but you get to the racetrack and he come out to get in a car or whatever, and he was focused about what a task at hand and the job he had to do, and he would shy away from distractions. And so for me as a person being on the inside of the sport and seeing it, me as a tire changer, back in the day, knowing that I might have family behind the pits or friends behind the pits, but it's time to get up there and focus and stretch and get ready for a pit stop. And, so I couldn't stay back there and talk to them or cut up with them or whatever. I had a job to do. I had to focus. And, I didn't need to make a mistake, and that's the same. That's the same position they're put in, and that's the same position that a baseball player or a football player or whatever. You're you're expected to do a job, and sometimes you got to buckle down and focus to do that job and put everything else aside and focus and not worry about the distractions going on around you so that you can do it. And I mean, that's just a position that we're put in.
The reason why I asked that question is a lot of, obviously he's the icon of NASCAR, and a lot of people have said that he was a big jokester behind the scenes, and every once in a while you'd be able to see that, but like once he got at the track, there was like a flip of a switch, and he was like dialed in, and he would talk, but it would be more serious, like I got a job to do, don't bother me type thing. But yeah, I was just curious what your experience was with him. I assume that's probably what you were going to say based on what others have said, but one other thing, speaking of him, did he ever let you go hunting or fishing at his property?
He did not, but then I wasn't a hunt. Well, I'm still not a fisherman. You might see a fishing rod or something in the background. I barely know how to throw it. Now, my younger son, he's all into it. He's all into everything, anything outdoors. My older son he does a lot of hunting. He's not as big into fishing, but here lately I have taken the fishing rod down there and thrown it in the water and played around. But no, I never went hunting out there, but back I really never got into hunting until probably right around 2000, 2001 or two, somewhere in there, kind of little bit, and then it progressed, and then I had two boys, and I'd take them hunting as they got older, and so then it progressed even more. But both of my sons love to hunt. Both of them have a bigger deer on the wall than I do.
Well, it probably doesn't hurt working for JGR and having Bass Pro Shop on the side of Trux's car.
Yeah. So but they have a little more time to hunt than maybe I do, and but yes, they both have a bigger deer hanging on the wall than I do. And my younger son's shot a really nice one, with the bow. And that is something I would like to do. I need to buckle down and focus on it. But he definitely put in the time to, learn how to shoot it and get really good at it. And he shot a couple nice ones with it.
So let's circle to this past Saturday. Let's talk about the cooler talk.
Oh shit. Well, here's all I can tell you is I don't recommend draining your cooler at Homestead. I'm not
during
sure.
a race.
Well, anytime apparently, but so I did find out on Friday that during practice on Friday, we pumped the hot water out of the car when we were pumping cold water in it. So that's why you see up and down pit road people have buckets or whatever. And someone did dump their bucket in it, away from pit wall, but it ran back and created a little bit of an issue. I wished I'd have seen that, and then I would have known on Saturday what to do. But generally I drain some water out of the cooler on pit road. For the past 5 years, I've drained water out on the cooler on pit road, and it runs away from pit road. And boy, this weekend it ran back we had an empty stall behind us. We were in pit stall 7, so pit stall 8 was empty behind us. And then the one car was in pit stall 9, and Homestead has a bunch of little gates down pit road and has a fence there, and in all the past years, those little gates have been open. And I do recall that I've rolled through those little gates and drained my cooler. And if you get on that side of the fence, the water won't come back towards pit road. But I didn't get on that side of the fence. I did turn my cooler right close to the fence and thought it would go that way, and it didn't. It came into pit stall 8. You so much going on, and you're trying to focus on getting your gas and stuff ready on the next pit stop or whatever, and whatever it is, I have to throw a hose and catch and hand in a can, and then catch a tire or be there to catch a tire. And so, I was just looking through my stuff for what I need to do, but I needed to drain some water out of the cooler, and man, it ran back into our stall and ran out on the pit road. So the one guys came over and they tried, help cleaning it up, and our guys helped cleaning it up, and our crew chief, Jim Pullman, recognized it. I actually think he said it on the private radio, which is a good thing, but he wasn't real impressed with it at all. But he calmed down pretty quickly and went back to focus on what we had to do with the race car. But yeah, he definitely let me know he wasn't impressed that I drained the cooler and the water ran out. And then after the race, Wayne Alton, the series director, motioned for me to come over and talk to him. Asked me what happened. I explained it to him. And he was crystal clear that hey, let's don't drain our cooler on pit road these next 2 races. And I said, don't worry, I won't. Which really nowhere else we go this year, it's a problem. It'll drain away from pit road, but no, I'll find a drain somewhere to drain it. I won't drain it. But it was the 7th. I think they showed it on TV. It was the 7th cooler. I'd like to blame some of it on Brian, the one hauler. I think TV said, they said the 1 and the 7 or something. I'd like for him to at least take half the ass chewing I got, but it was all me. So I take full responsibility. I screwed up, and I definitely won't let that happen again, because it could have been big. If they'd had to throw a caution, it could have affected the outcome of the race, regardless if it would have helped the 7 or hurt the 7. It's there's always that doubt. But yeah, no, I don't recommend draining the cooler to have water out. And one good fortunate thing was it was in an empty pit stall, but now we had to come through that pit stall, but they did do a good job of getting it dried up. But yeah, the 7 won't be draining their cooler at Martinsville on pit road.
Or you just get a big long hose and turn it out, put it on the bottom of the drain and run it down pit road so it goes through somebody else's pit stall. Then
I could have. I would need about a 50-foot one. If my crew chief would have had a 50-foot hose, he might have hung me up with it. But
oh no.
But no, it's just a lack of paying attention, or focusing on hey, where's that water gonna run when I drain it? And so yeah, definitely I don't recommend doing that. I wish I could blame it on my, we take a backup driver with us to the racetrack, and my backup driver's Daryl Matthews, but he's gone a lot this year as a backup driver, but also he's the quote unquote truck driver for the 88 when they run. So even though he doesn't have a truck there, he kind of does everything that a truck driver would do for the 88 to help them. So, yeah, I wish I could have blamed it on Daryl, and if I could have split it up to Daryl and Brian, then I would have been scot-free. But not the case. It was my fault, my mistake, and I won't let it happen again.
I was gonna ask, what is your favorite track on the NASCAR schedule?
People ask me that a lot, and this is what I say. Charlotte is always kind of been that, because back when I changed tires, there was a lot of times, both of my kids played sports or played soccer. And, there was a lot of times on a Saturday morning, I could get up and go to an 8 o'clock or a 10 o'clock soccer game, and then bolt out of that soccer game and drive to the racetrack at Charlotte and do the race, and then be back home at night, to hang out with my wife and stuff. So when you have a race at Charlotte and you can get up in the morning and do things and stuff with your kids, and then you're back home that evening to, they go out to dinner or cook out at home or something. That part of it's that's really what makes it cool. And so Charlotte stands out of that, because that's really the only race that I have that option to be able to do. Now, I have gone to soccer games and then go to Concord Airport, hop on the plane and fly, and do a race, and then on Saturday spend the night and do the race on Sunday and come back home. But just to be able to drive there and then be back, sleep in your own bed, Charlotte's still at the top of my list. I'd like to say Vegas, because I go out there and gamble, but my wife chokes me when I go out there and gamble. I got yelled at this past time because I took money out there with me. I took it out of the wrong account, and that ain't always good. So, that's all the things that people go, well, do you have the same, yeah, I have the same issues. Well, I'm supposed to check with my wife just like y'all are supposed to check with y'all's before you do stuff, and I didn't. So I got yelled at for it.
So as far as like one of the tracks that I always see that's a problem getting in and out of for hauler drivers is Bristol. Have you ever got stuck on the track pulling the rig out?
I have not, knock on wood. It is definitely easy to get stuck coming out of there. It's real deceiving going in. It's easy going in. It's just deceiving because, you come up over the hill and then you can't see nothing. It's just a drop off. And you gotta have it in a little bit of a high gear, because you don't want to use the brakes, and so, and then when you let the clutch out, going down in there, you don't want to over rev it. But I have not, gotten stuck coming out of there. They have been, there have been people to do it. People got stuck this past time. It's easy to do, but I've been fortunate that I hadn't. And listen, hell, the next time I'm coming out of there, I might get stuck. I couldn't tell you, but I gas it up and mash it, get my speed up, and clear the top of that hill and hope I can keep rolling. I've stalled it out at the top almost. I was already out, and stalled it out, but I didn't have to get pulled. I just cranked it back up and put it in gear and pulled on. But I already had the truck was already up over the hill, so it wasn't stuck. But I've watched other people, get stuck on the way out, have to get pulled out with the tractor, and they're pretty cool. They're right there on it with a cable. You've got your hook in. They don't waste no time.
Now, we asked Magic this question. Can you tell us a story that has happened to you on all your trucking adventures? Like, Rob, how did you word that to Magic?
Something funny, unique, something that shocked you. I think his was something about somebody flipping them off and cutting them off, and I think threw beer bottles at him or something. And
Jesus.
so I don't know, it was something crazy like that.
How about like every trip? Um, um, the This something happens all the time. Um, no offense to anyone, but there is there is a huge lack of respect for not just a NASCAR hauler driver or in general, just for truck driver in general, um, with four wheelers or whatever you want to listen. I'm just as guilty. I hate to be behind one too. I get it. I understand it. Um, but some of the stuff that people do, and cutting you off, and they think because their car's got four-wheel disc brakes that they can hop over and hit the brakes and they can get stopped, that you can. And here's all I can tell you: 80,000 pounds running at about 60 miles an hour takes about a football field to get stopped. And the car you drive, the car I drive, the car my wife drives can stop in half of that easily. Probably less than half. Having said that, then they get mad because you close that gap up. So now they think you're tailgating them or riding on their, bumper or whatever. No, I'm doing that because I don't want another person to come up and cut me off and get in between us. So I'm gonna stay closer to you so no one does that. And so we got signage all over the truck, so that person will call in. But yes, on several occasions I've been told I was number one. Yes, I've been flashed by a female. Yes, if I ride down the road and 100 cars pass me and I look over in them, 99 of them are on their phone. And it happens with, going to Homestead. We, pulled in a truck stop and there was 5 trucks in line to get fuel or at the fuel aisle, and wasn't none of them pumping fuel. They were probably taking their 30-minute break, or I don't know what they were doing, but they wasn't pumping fuel, and I tipped over. Blowed the horn and hollered at them like, look, if you ain't getting fuel, pull out. I want to get fuel. Leaving the racetrack. The policeman had a car pulled over on the 2-lane road leaving the racetrack. So it forced all of us to go in the left lane. And so I went into the left lane and checked up, because there was a couple of cars in front of me in the right lane. They needed to get in the left lane also. So I checked up and give them enough room. And some jackleg in a Jeep coming out of a neighborhood, thought it was a good idea to cut out, come halfway across the median and force his way in front of me. That didn't go over well with me. He knows it now. But yes, he did get in front of me. But yeah, I mean, it's something all the time, Don't get me wrong, I get some waves, I get some thumbs up, I get a lot of, I love your truck, I love the black wheels, oh, that's the coolest truck. I get all that, but yes, there's definitely some people out there that, thought Hollywood was number one on more than one occasion.
Well, the last question I have: what social media platforms are you on, and how can fans follow you? And it's still 2-0.
I'm on X. I'm on Instagram. and they're both under Mark Hollywood Armstrong, or Mark Armstrong or Hollywood. I go sometimes and post a lot, and I go other times and don't post. Um, but yeah, they can find me there. They can ask questions. They can follow you guys and check this out, or they can ask me questions. Come on here again, stuff to talk about. So I'm never at a loss of words or things to talk about, or time for the fans or stuff. I've been real fortunate to be able to do a lot of cool stuff, be able to do a lot of cool stuff with my wife and kids, and VIP treatment at concerts and that sort of stuff. And so I always try to, anytime I see a mom or dad or whoever with a little kid, or know that I can do something to put a lasting impression on the kid, to give them a lug nut or a hat, or get a mom or a dad up close to pit wall if they're there with our sponsor, with Brant or Jarrett or Hellman's, Chevrolet, or just fans of JR Motorsports in general. Try to get them up close to the wall, get a picture, or do something. It's just things like that you do that leave a lasting impression, and brings them back for more, to enjoy our sport.
Yeah, and it grows the future of the sport as well. That way, that little kid, maybe his first race or her first race, and they remember that experience, that of you giving them a lug nut and a hat or something like that, and they become a fan of, in this case, you're with Justin Allgaier's team, Justin Allgaier, and start following NASCAR, and next thing you know, they may be a future fan of the sport down the road. So
yeah, that's my biggest thing, is if you just do something for them, and they become a fan of the sport, and with social media and everything now, it's just so much easier for these kids to follow multiple sport platforms, and know what's going on. They can be at a college football game and watching the race on their phone. We didn't have that option back then. A lot of times we had to wait on Monday to get the newspaper to see who won the race, or see what happened and that sort of stuff. Now they know it 30 seconds after it happens. But anytime you have a person that's at the track, or you can give them that live experience of seeing it, touching it, feeling it, experiencing it, whether it be something on pit road, whether it be back at the hauler, or walking into the hauler and checking it out, or offering them a cold water out of the cooler. All that is an experience, and they will remember it and appreciate it.
All right. Well, I don't want to hold you up too much more. Dave, Rob, you guys got anything else?
I don't even know how long we've been on.
57 minutes.
time flies when you're having fun.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And
So
it's 2-1 Dodgers.
Okay. So I'll be able to catch some of the game. Well, listen, I appreciate you guys taking the time. Appreciate you considering me, having me on. Thanks to Beth. I know Beth had a lot to do with getting Magic on your show. I know she had a lot to do with introducing you to me and Justin, and getting me to come on. She does a ton of stuff for Jerry Clemens Racing in the 51 car, and so really cool to get on here and check it out, see what all you guys are about. Hope that people enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it. You know, I'm still just a big kid at heart, and love to try to win races, and love to put myself around people that want to do the same. And hopefully, we can finish this season out strong. And if the man upstairs sees it fit and blesses us, we can do well at Martinsville and go to Phoenix and make it happen.
Well, we're gonna bring you back on December 10th for our episode 50. That'll be the final episode of the season, and hopefully you're jumping around, hooting and hollering that you won the championship. Like I said,
Hopefully, I'm in the woods somewhere hunting or something.
doing
That
a
would work
live
too.
hunting, that'd be funny.
Do you always do them at this time of night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hunt this late at night.
Or at
But I
least
can-
legally you can't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I damn sure ain't gonna come on the podcast and tell you I'll sit in the deer stand and do the interview, but I'm not taking no gun with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck the next 2 weeks, and go
Yes.
get that championship.
Okay, thank you guys, and thank all the fans that tuned in, checked it out. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and y'all have a good evening.
You too.
You as well, sir. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you guys. Y'all have fun.
You as well. Take care.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, that was Hollywood. That was a really good interview.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
He
definitely not a shy guy by any stretch of imagination, or
No.
lost for words.
no, and just from watching him at the track at Pocono, what he said about doing stuff to get the fans involved and stuff, he actually was doing that stuff. I mean, you could see him, people walking around, he would go and talk to them and stuff like that. So yeah, he a good dude. NASCAR is lucky to have guys like him, and again, thank you, Beth, so much for helping Bobby, introducing Bobby to him and Magic. So, and getting them on our show, our podcast, I should say.
Yeah, she actually, she took me, and we were at Pocono, and we were just kind of talking, and she's like, "Come on, I gotta show you somebody." I'm like, "Okay, where are we going?" Like, I didn't know what we were doing, and she took me over to Hollywood, and Hollywood sitting there. I believe he was eating an ice cream at the time, and
He was eating something. It
Yeah.
might have been a popsicle or something.
Yeah, it
I
was
can't remember, but he's
something,
eating
and-
something. Yeah.
So he's sitting here, and Justin Allgaier's talking to his group of people, and we're talking. She introduces me to him. We take a picture turnover, and Justin was just getting ready to walk away, and I said, "Hey to Justin," I said, "Good luck." And Hollywood looked over at me and goes, "We win this race." He goes, "Come find me. You can stand in victory lane." And I was like, "This is freaking awesome." And then they ended up with 2 to go. They were in the lead, and then at the end they finished second because Custer blew around them. And then I was at Michigan, and they did win, and I didn't think about it. And I didn't think about it till after the fact, and I could have went up there and hung out with them in victory lane, and I just didn't think about it. So I appreciate everything, and like I told him before we went live, I said, I have a gut feeling this is your guys' year to win the championship, and I hope that's true. So that
Yeah,
was
my picks at the beginning of the year before the season started, I had Allgaier winning the Xfinity. I had Hamlin winning Cup, and Ty Majeski winning the Truck Championship.
I had Grant Enfinger, Justin Allgaier, and Tyler Reddick. Even though I'm a Denny Hamlin fan, I had Tyler Reddick just to bring a championship to 23-11. This is before I knew all this crazy crap was happening, but now I kind of want to see Denny just get in there so he can put the hammer down and win the championship. Shut up, Dave.
I just want Kyle Busch to win her damn race. I want the streak to continue. I'm picking him every week. Maybe I should stop picking him.
I'm starting to think you need to stop.
I am
Right.
worried because the RCR's short track program has not been good, and I think his best chance to win was this last week.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think he realized that too. And I mean, who knows? I mean, he's an awesome short track driver. It's just that their short track program isn't what it should be. So, and Phoenix, he's decent at Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix is, I guess, a beast of its own. But
yeah, I think they still consider that a short track.
Yeah,
even though it's nowhere even close.
Now it's just over a mile, I think, mile and something, I think, but they consider it a short track.
So,
but
that was segment 1 and 2. Hollywood was brought to you by Alliance Driveway Solutions and Spartan Waste. Speaking of Spartan Waste, I wanted to bring this up real quick. They have the Thanksgiving paint scheme. They're going to have it RJ Rockers tomorrow. Dave will be there live. I don't know if you're going to go live at all, Dave.
No, I'll probably try to do a couple interviews for the show so we can put them on. But
okay, I was going to say you have the Facebook information if you want to go live at any point. But yeah, I don't have the picture on hand right now, but
I can barely log on to Zoom, let alone do a live Facebook feed.
But the car is very sharp looking. Can't wait to share it with you guys tomorrow.
And hopefully the special surprise is going to be ready to be on the car for tomorrow. So,
gotcha.
I hope. I know it was delivered and it was given to Mark on Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember what day I got. Mark Setzer, Mark Nelson texted me. So hopefully.
Usually on Wednesday, the motor and train is not in it yet.
Okay.
So it's usually a roller when it gets to Rockers.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Did not know that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it here. I want to say thank you to Spartan Waste, Fox Sports. I got to thank the Racing Warehouse. I got to thank Mr. Dave Henderson for tomorrow going to pick up my newly acquired deck lid from the Pocono car. So pretty excited about that. Now I will have the quarter panel of the banner and the deck lid. So that's going to be one piece that I will never forget. I doing the podcast right here. I look past the computer screen and there's a picture of Adrian and I with the car and with our VIP passes, and I just can't thank everybody enough for that opportunity. Next year we will be on a car. Dave, Rob, we're going to make it happen again. But Dave, have a great time at RJ Rockers, and Mark and Ryan, good luck on Saturday at Martinsville, and can't wait to see that car. But segment 3 now is brought to you by Action RV. It's the Jeremy Clements race recap from Miami Homestead Speedway. Rob, take it away.
So this past weekend at Miami was the Flying Form Concrete Structures Miami Skyline / Miami
Vice.
Colors, Miami Vice, Miami Grand Theft Auto paint scheme by Ray from Flying Form. Amazing looking car, livery. Michael Michelli knocked it out of the park as always. The car was pretty fast. It was P4 and I think it was Group B in practice, and then ended up being P13 overall in practice. In qualifying didn't go as well. qualified P23, but during qualifying, they found that they had somehow cut a brake line. And as a result of that, they had to replace the brake line. And that's why they had to start at the rear of the field to start the race for an unimproved adjustment. Stage one, the car, Jeremy was able to work his way forward a little bit. But the car was loose, tight, and then loose in the corners. So loose in, tight in the center, loose off. And then when he was in traffic, his car was aero tight. So he couldn't really do much of anything. So he rode out stage one. Stage two, he finished P19. He was loose off in that stage. They did some more adjustments to try to help with that. And then in stage three, ultimately, his car was loose in and loose off. And with 10 laps to go, Jeremy radioed that the oil and water temperatures were extremely high. And as a result of that, it reduced the horsepower in the engine. So he wasn't as fast as he should have been. They said they didn't see anything on the grill of the car. So for some reason, the oil and water temperatures were high. And ultimately, Jeremy ended up finishing P16. So that was a good finish. They were doing whatever they could to try to stay on the lead lap, not get lapped, which they didn't get lapped. They fought hard. The pit crew did a lot of changes and rocked and kicked ass, and they had a good week. So hopefully that helps a little bit with their mojo going into these last two races, and they're able to finish on a strong note at Martinsville and then at Phoenix. So the race ended up being won by now I can't remember who won the
Hill.
Oh yeah, Austin Hill. Austin Hill ended up winning the race, the number 21 car. So a good race. Homestead, Miami is an abrasive track. It's a wore out track, so you have to manage your tires there. Prime example was the Cup race. If anybody happened to watch that, it was eating up some people's tires, and ultimately ended up being a really good race at the end. Tyler Reddick, I guess the scent that basically did the Ross Chastain without actually hitting the wall that last half a lap in 3 and 4, and just hammered it and drove right by Blaney to get the win and lock himself into the playoffs. So, but either way, next week is Martinsville, and it's going to be the Spartan Waste and Flying Forum, or sorry, I'm not Flying Forum, Fox Sports Spartanburg. Thanksgiving throwback, or Thanksgiving livery. Sorry, I got all excited and confused with my words. And if you haven't seen the car, it is awesome. Again, Mike Michelli knocked it out of the park. I know Mark gave him some ideas. I know back when it was episode 1, I think it was.
Yeah, we threw some ideas.
Yeah, threw some ideas out to him, and actually they used a little bit of the ideas that we suggested. So it's pretty cool. So Jeremy does pretty decent at Martinsville. He does good at short tracks. So hopefully he can get that turkey car around the track, and his spotter RC is definitely not going to have a problem seeing it, because it's like blaze orange, and it looks awesome. So on that note, back to you, Bobby and Dave.
All right, so segment 4, Kylie Glick Racing recap brought to you by Nordic Logistics. This Saturday, 11/2/24, All American Speedway for the Junior Late Model Championship. Kylie is going out to try to win herself a championship. Dave, Rob, what's your thoughts on it?
I think all she has to do is just stay the course, do what she's been doing all year, be consistent, hit her marks, and don't get distracted or nervous, and just be confident. And she'll be fine and win the championship.
Yeah, I agree 100%. She just has to keep doing what she's been doing. Obviously, it's a successful recipe. So, just keep her nose out of trouble and, just do what she does, and should not be a problem whatsoever.
And I think the key is the donuts and the cookies for the crew to keep them happy. I think that's the key. But yeah, on a serious note, having a great relationship with her spotter, that she mentioned last week, and he was watching the show and commenting. I think that is extremely important for her to keep her reined in and focused and what she needs to do on the track. And like I said, just do what she's been doing, and she'll be just fine. So looking forward to talking with her next week about how well she did. So
right. And I think we got a little news that I don't even think the guys out west knew, because she was talking just a couple weeks ago, if not last week, about running Irwindale Raceway, and the news came out this morning that they were no longer going to race after the end of the season, which was
I was
to me.
I was dumbfounded by that. I was like, I thought that was like the staple track in Southern California. They had drag strips there. They do all kinds of events there. And if I remember correctly, I think I shared it in our group chat that we have. I think that's Kevin Harvick's actual home track, if I remember correctly. And I mean, and somebody even made a comment in that thing, Kevin Harvick, please save this track. And then I was reading a little bit, and apparently that track is built on top of a garbage dump, and there's methane gas that leaks at the track. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, that was the first I've heard of that. And that's part of the reason why. So I don't know. I don't know. It's another track that has NASCAR history tied to it that potentially is going to be lost. It's sad. A lot of those people that are commenting on it that live in that area are like, you took away such and such speedway already. Now you're taking this away from us. We're going to have to drive several hours to get to a track to watch racing. So I don't know.
So I want to throw this out here. The Yankees just took the lead 5-2. I know Hollywood's still watching, so I know he's watching the game right now. I'd prefer to see the Dodgers sweep them, because I don't like the Yankees, but it is what it is. So anyways, if you're interested in purchasing any Kylie Glick merchandise, please go to Kylie Glick Racing for her Facebook page and click the link in her new merchandise post. Next week, November 5th, will be our next show, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, subscribe, like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. A reminder, if you have not done so, please go to stickygears.com and purchase one of the Area 51 Racing t-shirts. They are $15, and a portion of that money goes directly to Jeremy Clements Racing. Also, please check out Armadillo or Anna Amora Designs. First of all, Armadillo. You don't want to miss out on the good stuff they have. But please go to Anna Amora Designs. She's a partner of ours. She has these awesome tumblers. This is just one of them. They come in different colors. Rob and Dave both have one. Rob, go ahead and say something so they can see it.
Yeah, this is the custom one that we had made from Jeremy Clemens's Wawa 250 win back in was it 2022? And then you can see off to my left over here, I'm pointing to a little like yard flag, garden flag, whatever you call it. It's a custom flag that she does. Dave has worn custom T-shirts. Bobby's got the sticker there that Anna's done. She does amazing work.
This is the sticker. They're $8. You can ask Dave and Rob. They are high quality. If you're looking for a good sticker, we also have the $4 stickers. I'm down to 50 of them. We have sold quite a few. So if you would like some, please get a hold of us. Myself, Dave, Rob, to be able to get one of those. Also, Gale Beard Products is a partner of Area 51 Racing Podcast. If you go to galebeard.com, place an order, go to the shopping cart, and put in the discount code Area 51, you get 15% off and free shipping. And remember, guys, make them say it. Gale.
Golly.
Check out the Racing Warehouse website. Jeremy has some new stuff on there. They just recently released. Check out Armadillo. Oh my God, Armadillo Apparel. I am tongue twisted today. Also check out the sheet metal, diecast, and other memorabilia. If you can't find anything there, get a hold of Dave and see if Dave wants to sell any of his collection over at TRW times 2. So we got somebody that just in the chat that says, "Yippee, I love you, Dave." So
Uh-oh.
It was probably my Nigerian friend watching.
It very well could be. It's W.L. Herm.
My boy.
Could be. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it could be Cam. Could be Stacy.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Now I'm watching Cam right now, and it's not him. Yeah, it could be Jacoby.
I mean, yeah, it could be anybody. I mean, your fan club it's like worldwide.
It's like Prestige Worldwide.
Yes. Prestige Worldwide.
Why?
All right, so we want to thank all of our sponsors who make this podcast possible. Spartan Waste, Fox Sports Spartanburg, Impel Union, Alliance Driveway Solutions, First Pacific Funding, Elite Towing and Recovery, Whitetail Smokeless, Fly Informed Concrete Structures, Runner's Roost, Matman Designs, Action RV, Booze Pops, Nordic Logistics, Wings Etc., Anna Amore Designs, Gale, Surefit Companies, High Auto, Enigma Tattoo, Kylie Glick Racing, Jeremy Clements, and Jeremy Clements Racing. And I can't thank all the fans out there who make this podcast possible. So I just
couple things, Bobby. I just remembered Mattman Chad Harrington, his wife just had some significant surgery, had been in the hospital for a period of time, and she just came home. So we give her our well wishes for a speedy recovery and some pain relief and comfort. So and then also Mattman from Gale Beard Company. It was actually his birthday yesterday, as it was my birthday.
Well,
actually.
Speaking of birthday boys,
right. So that's why I knew his birthday popped up, and I'm like, holy cow! I didn't know Mattman and I had the same birthday. So, but and John Vandal, I think, yeah, it was John. One of the pit crew members, Jeremy's team, also's birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday. Hope you guys had a great day. So
Yeah, happy birthday, guys.
Yeah, happy belated birthday, Rob.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Happy belated birthday.
So thanks.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the podcast next week. I believe next week we have, let me make sure that I'm right.
I think it's Diamond and Sunny's turn, if I remember right, for
Yeah.
the Q&A.
I think so.
No, actually next week is a big show. We have Rob, Eric, and Scott from Wings Etc. coming on.
Yeah, as long as nothing breaks in the kitchen, knock on wood, we should be good for that one.
Yeah, no, we got all three of them when we were at Pocono. Was it Pocono, Rob? Or no, it was Michigan.
No, it was Michigan.
Yeah, so when we were at Michigan, we myself and Dylan, which is Adrian's sister's boyfriend, he went with me, and him and I actually got this set up to have them on, and then yeah, I'm pretty excited about that episode. So next week we'll be live with them. I know it's a shorter show with you guys tonight, but I want to give a shout out to all the fans out there. Let everybody know that it is 5-2 New York. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys later, and we will see you guys next week.
All right, everybody, have a great night.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Have a great night.
Known to dog ice cream trucks, pop baby, it's booze, pop baby, bringing people together. One booze pop at a time. Let's go. We're gonna rock out with our pops out, baby. It's the only pop that keeps you warm. You can rock out till go to boozepop.com.
All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night, and we will see you guys next week.